You turn this off. How's everybody doing? This is Dwayne Golden. Excited to see you guys. Wow is what I can say. It's been a 2 weeks since we seen you on a Monday night. Right now, Dwayne Jr. is on his way to the airport to drop someone off. He's going to try to get his head in here before we go back. But Dr. Harper will be here in a moment or so, and we're excited to share with you guys some of the things that we believe will distinctly differentiate you from others who are doing similar or the same things. Charles, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing, Dwayne?
Well, I'm guessing by your vest that it's not 80 degrees, 81 degrees there. That's what I'm guessing.
All right, that's about enough of that.
Okay. You know, Charles, I think that there's no better way. Let me go ahead and say hello to everyone. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I thought there would be no better way than to kick off this webinar than to do so in the spirit of encouragement, I can't even say what I was going to say now, in the inspiration of encouragement that these guys, I know many people don't talk about it, Charles, but you know, we have challenges too. We go to funerals, we get sick, we have challenges in our family where people who have needs. We all also belong to a church like you guys, or believe in giving back to different things. We're normal people. We get stomach aches if we eat the wrong thing. So as we talk about what we do tonight, trust me, we're not trying to oversimplify anything. We're just trying to tell you that nobody gets out of this stuff alive. We might as well find a way to simplify it so we can get more back out of our year. To be given 365 days of life when many have not been given that chance. There are some who didn't make it to 2016 that would love to trade places with you to get an opportunity. So tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about exactly how you can leverage, get more out of the time of the day, how you can leverage and get more back from your investments into things and into your work and into your day, into your family. So Charles, you know, I bet you I would not be stretching the truth to say off and on over the last 10 to 15 years, this conversation about simplifying, you and I have hit this thing so many times over the last 15 years, and that means even back when Junior was only like 13 or 14, you and I were talking about this stuff and how important it is to simplify communication channels and simplify what you're doing by working smart, not hard. What do you think, man?
It's necessary, right? In order to do the number of things we need to do to make something happen in internet marketing or in anything these days, you really do have to keep your operations as simple as you can.
If not, what is happening right now will happen. For example, Charles, I'm going to ask a question in here to everyone, and I want you to be 100% honest. And here's what happens when you don't find ways to simplify and leverage using what you have already. And here's what that is. It's February 1st. January is gone. How many of you could honestly say that you're disappointed because the whole month is gone and the things you set out and planned to do in December, they haven't happened yet? Type in the number 2. And don't worry, you're human if this is the case. But it also gives us the premise. It gives us the case in point of why we must pour our hearts out to you about this thing of managing your time. And so while you're typing the number 2, if this is true for you, I want you to get this. Time is, in fact, a great gift from God. That's way more valuable than money. Even though everyone tells you that time is money, that's an absolute outright lie, and it's just not the case. Time's way more valuable. And if you don't want to look up and blink and have it be March 1st, and now there's only 10 months left in a year, like all the other years, then you must step into it. First of all, if you didn't read my blog post, go and read it, because I pulled out from all of our conversations that we've had over the past few years, Charles, Dwayne Jr. and I pulled a lot of that conversation out and put it in the blog post, and even put referring links so you can see exactly how you can do this. But tonight, we're going to demonstrate it. So as we do so, let me tell you, my word of encouragement is this. Many people, Charles, tonight, when it's time to dive in and get started on their plan of action, or even to create one, the overwhelming emotion of frustration, of where do I begin, all that stuff overwhelms and depresses much of the action that should take place. And so all I can tell you is the first thing you ought to do is learn that aside from the great gift of time that God has given each one of us, he's given us the gift of communication and finding ways to do your work better. Everything about internet marketing, info marketing is all about communication. You've got to understand, even though many scientists want you to believe that you're just another animal, right? I'm a scientist too, and it's not true, right? It just sounds good. It makes you feel really important to say such things, but it's not true. You're not an animal. You are human life, and you have the ability to communicate at so many different levels, in so many different ways that an animal couldn't even dream of doing a smidget of them. Charles, tonight, I could give you my facial expression and send a message to you of anger, of happiness, of disappointment, of worry. I could just go down the line, but I could do better than that. I cannot change my facial expression and use my hands and send you a message of stop, of go. I can send you a message of, oh yeah. I can send you a message of encouragement. I can send you a message of you are just dumb, which we know you're not. I could go on and on and on. Through written communication, the ability to read and write the communication from another human being or to another human being is something animals don't have. Yes, they can make sounds. Yes, they can growl, or they can make sounds, they can roar, but they're so limited. You're not an animal, you're better. That's why you can do this stuff. So tonight, before we get into it, I'm telling you from the very basic of elements and the gifts of God that he's given you, oh, you can do this. You must be encouraged. For those of you tonight who are ill and you have struggled with a diagnosis for months or a couple years or just a few days, you can take whatever time you have and plug it into better communication, starting with yourself. So as I say that, I was going somewhere and I just jumped out of the shower. So I was a mess earlier, Charles. Remember I told you? It was not pretty. So in my phone, I leave messages for myself. I email myself. Honest to goodness, in my iChat or my messaging, I send messages to myself, reminders. I even send Skype messages. I have more than one Skype account, and I send messages that will pop up somewhere else so that I'm reminded while I'm out. So some of the basic elements of stuff is this idea of being true to you instead of being negative and down because you've got so many things to do, not enough time, not enough money. Start off by communicating with yourself. Charles, how important is this, man? That before we even go into showing them what we do, how important is this stuff of not letting woes and foes and adversaries get you down by encouraging yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's really about focus, right? It's at some point, everything that's negative is going to be that way until you really start working on it. And that's really what I found, right? Everything is overwhelming. Everything is, I mean, you got a big bill, you got a big debt, you got a big mountain, your kids are crazy. You know, it's all bad until you start working on it. And there's something about getting started working on something that not only is it not as bad, you don't have time to focus on it when you're working on it. And so probably one of the things I think we're going to be talking about tonight is really using some of these tools to really focus on one thing and to kind of get working on it and get it done.
Hey, well said, man. And you know, for those of you that read the blog post, when we say getting tools, we're not talking about going out and buying stuff. This is stuff you already have. Mm-hmm. It's built in, man. So what I'd like to do, Charles, and hopefully, by the way, I hope the encouragement helped. Like some of you guys get annoyed when I don't dive right into it. So I'm gonna get this off the table real quick. If you're annoyed, remember, you're not the only person here. We must speak to the needs of every single person here. And there are some who just can't get out of the gate because of pain of being alone, the pain of being between jobs, the pain of wanting to do more, but not having enough time, money, and sometimes even enough energy because of illness. So please don't misunderstand. I'm not overlooking you. I'm coming to you guys, but I must we've got to give everybody an opportunity to be propelled from where they are to where they're going. So as I say that, Charles, by the way, if the encouragement was helpful, type in number 1 so we know we're on the right page, because we have to dive in and give you some meat and potatoes too. Charles, so I think what a good idea is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to first go over some of the stuff I like to do. I'll pick one. We can go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in and dive into one of my saving graces for managing myself, because let me get this out. It's hard if you're coming from having a job for years and now you thought you had a crappy boss. You thought that your boss is a jughead, a jerk, you know more than he or she, and now you have to work for yourself. You found out just how hard you are to manage. And oftentimes it takes 1 or 2 months of working for yourself to realize you're a crappy boss. When it gets down for you to manage your business, the person who's your boss is the one you look in the mirror, and that person wastes time, surfs Facebook, gets on unnecessary phone calls, and does very little. A whole month goes by and you don't even fire you, right? So now you can think in your mind about apologizing to the boss that you thought was a jerk and a jughead, and realize it's not so easy to manage you. I had to find that out myself. Hang on, just for Charles, if this is wrong, you can help me with this. Someone asked a question there. So someone asked about how to join that, and that's how you do it. Anyway, so this was going to help you guys. The stuff we're talking about tonight is where your income isn't, because you have never strengthened those muscles of discipline to manage yourself, your 24-hour clock, and managing your no muscle. The ability to say no when you really ought to be working, say no to the birthday party, say no to going to this person's house, say no to the person who wants to call you, say no to opening your inbox if you haven't done anything today. Some of you guys will know, and I'm sure Charles can vouch for this as well. You get people that hate you. Why aren't you responding to me yet? Well, I'm not responding if I didn't respond to me yet. I'm going to get to you, but I've got to take care of business, because you got nothing if I drop the ball. You got nothing. So I'm not going to stop every second and answer Skypes and Facebook messages and all that. Can't do it. I'm going to first primarily manage me and the communication to me so that I can be all I can be when I communicate with you. So let's take a walk together, Charles. I'm going to, oh boy, this is going to get, I know, hopefully I clean my desktop today. I hope. I hope so. Okay, let's see. All right. So Charles, I think I got it now. I know many can't wait to get to Facebook, right? Oh, how do you open your desktop? I don't know how that happens. Oh, I know what to do. Oh boy, I don't know if they let you. You have to have a window open for them to see stuff, right? Charles? Yeah,
and you'll have to share it.
Yeah, but I just want to share my desktop. Oh, that's what I have to do, right? Will it let me share the desktop?
Yep.
It will? Okay, yeah. Cool. Hey man, you know, you're the techie guy, so don't get mad at me. Shucks. Let me try it again. You're the desk. Oh, there's the desktop. So all I have to do is minimize this one. Okay, I got it, bro. Can you see my desktop, bro?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I hope you guys can. You know what I didn't do, Charles? I didn't put the cell over me so they could see my screen. I just had it bouncing between you and I. So if you, let me go back and do this real quick without getting everybody all, it's going to get real wild here. Sorry. Okay, click this so it doesn't get too wild. Whoa, that was deep. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to try this again. Minimize, go to desktop, boom. All right, so what we're going to look at, Charles, is some of the tools. I'm going to pick one, and then you're going to pick one. I'm going to choose one of my favorites. So if you're one of what you're looking at some of the easy to grab apps that I use. One of my favorites is Reminder. Another favorite is Notes. Love them, right? Another is Sticky Notes. This one's going to surprise you. It's where somebody gets to me quickly. When I put a note or anything in one of these apps, it automatically will load my phone, my tablet. It loads the thing. So there's more. But I'm going to go over one. I'm going to go over Sticky Notes. And everybody has them if you have a PC. Or if you have a Mac, it doesn't matter, okay? And what happens when you load these things up, they actually load each of your systems. So I'm going to go ahead and get down to it. Where was I? I said sticky notes, right, Charles?
Yep.
Here's called stickies. Now, excuse what you're about to see. God forgive me for having such a mess. I'm not going to lose things just because I want to serve Facebook, right? I'm not for a moment going to lose things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have complete control, put it somewhere where I can get to it and then not forget. Whether it's a special link, whether it's a special message. Charles, are you able to see all this?
Yep, we're able to see it.
I'm not going to be playing around because what happened is the whole month would go by, and because whenever I get a great thought, if I'm given a great concept or a special product to promote, doesn't matter. A great message. In fact, I plan on diving in and finishing a book that I started a few years ago. Now that I got to be home and I got to go through all these treatments, I'm not going to be out in the field for months. I'm going to be writing. But you know what? I'm going to use this one product. So here's what happens, guys. I could take this sticky note and I can go to File. I can export it, right? I can import others, but I don't really need to do that because I synchronize all this stuff from device to device. Now, you guys, if you open up your PC or your Mac, somewhere in there you've got a place where you have these notes. And if you don't, they're free, right? You can find out where can I get a sticky note color thing. Now look, I make all of mine yellow because I'm not into all these colors, especially pink, because I'm on the blue team. I keep yellow. It's my birthstone, so I like to fool with that one, right? So bottom line is I need a testimony request. How do I ask for it? Well, instead of me trying to rewrite a message every time, I'm not going to do that, Charles. I take this little thing and I type it into a Skype message or a Facebook inbox. I put, hey, name, I need a written testimony about an impact I may have had on your income, please. My copywriter needs it before my launch. I too will send you a testimony or anything you're working on. Handshake. Blah. This must have been for Skype because it says handshake. If you could get me a written testimony for now, that would be great. A short blurb, please. Now, I don't want to have to write that every time. And so the frustration of writing it every time, I want you guys to know what would happen, right? I want you to know what would happen. I probably wouldn't do it. If I did it once, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like writing it. I got to think about what I'm going to say again. Not going to do it. Now, quick blurbs. I don't want to write twice. I constantly have tons. Hello, thank you for letting us know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm going to write here. Let me know as soon as I'm new to JVZoo, how to get product of the day. Oh, this was to those guys. When we first were launching, Charles, I wasn't sure how to get product of the day, right? So I wrote into the COO. I didn't want to remember, so I wrote into the COO. I wrote into all the owners the same message. Ding, 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 right? This is not rocket science. Now, it may think, you guys, I know a lot of you think this is like oversimplification. This is just one simple tool that's free. You already have it. Here's something. You know, I'm a high-powered. I was told I'm in the top 5 PayPal vendors around the world. And because of it, I was able to get adaptive payments and some other things. And I don't remember code. So I had to get my sandbox, my special digital signatures and stuff for each of my accounts. I've got many of them. What's really crazy about this stuff, here they are again. There are more places. What's crazy about this is I had to capture it. And the best way that I could capture it was to, let me go ahead and get back here. The best way to capture it was as soon as someone gives me something or I purchase something and need a quick receipt, I'm not going to be searching through my hard drive. I put it in notes. And then when I get it in my notes, it's going to go to my iPad. It's going to go to my phone, my Android or iPhone. It's going to go to my laptop. I'm not going to be searching. And by collapsing time frames, when I'm in the middle of something, I don't have to say, okay, how do I find it or start over? I don't have to do it. That's the power of using things that are already at your fingertips. Charles, your turn. By the way, before I go any further, someone said it looks like a month's worth. No, actually, many of those sticky notes, they overlap each other. I've got probably 7 or 8 years worth there, but I overlap them and I minimize a ton of them, right? I don't delete. Now, some of you guys, I know you like clean everything. I'm not into clean, I'm into proficiency. So I don't delete things I might need later. If you sent me an email, Charles, in 2003, I still have it because I don't go through and delete. I expand my capacity, but I don't delete. I'm not going to go searching for things I wish I had. And I know that sounds like a hoarder, but the truth is, in this business, the one thing you got rid of is the one thing you'll need. And if it's the wrong day, you got to start over or do without, period. So if that was helpful, let us know by typing number 3 as we give it to Brother Charles to dive in and share one of your favorite tools with us.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great transition. I'm gonna take the screen here.
Okay.
And pretty much what I'm gonna show you is just kind of a tool that I use, and I really use it for everything. And I wanna kind of preface this by saying what I really try to do. And those of you who have emailed me, you know that it's rare. I may respond to you and I may be out, but in general, right? In general, I don't respond to email when I'm out, and I don't check email when I'm out, mainly because I want to make sure that I'm actually, let's see, am I sharing my screen, Dwayne? Can you see it?
You are. Okay.
And I want to make sure that what I'm doing is I'm focused on the task at hand. So when I'm out, I'm out. And it's not that the work is not important, but it's that if I don't finish what I'm doing when I'm out, I'll have it to do when I come back and I'm actually sitting down at my desk. So in general, my philosophy is when I'm at work, I'm at work. Now, what you're looking at is Outlook. And the same thing that Dwayne uses his sticky notes for, I use Outlook for everything. And you're gonna see here on the side that I have various categories. And that really is as simple as I wanna make my filing system. If I wanna write myself a note, I'll write myself a note in Outlook and I will file it in here so that I can go to this searchable database and put in the letter or the word that I'm really looking for. Again, this is Outlook. I do pay extra for this, but again, the little bit that I pay, I think it's $6, is worth it because I have everything here in one place. So all of my emails come to this one location. So I don't have 3 email boxes to check. I have one. I don't have 3 or 4 things coming in 3 different places. I have one. Everything is done in Outlook. Everything is done online, so that let's say that if I get lost or I'm in Baltimore, I can't get back to my desk, I can come to this site and find all of my notes. I can come to this site and find all of my correspondence with Dwayne or with you. So I really try to keep all of my things in one place and keep it categorized simply. And then if I have to search for it, I just type into the search box and I will search for that note by name. One of the things you'll see here is that I've got 28,000 emails in my inbox, which sounds insane, but like Dwayne was saying, I really don't throw anything away. So if it's mildly useful, I keep it. If there's something that somebody did that I find interesting, somebody wrote an email, and Dwayne will tell you, right? If somebody wrote an email 2 years ago that I think is a great way to promote something, I know where it is, and I can find it in a moment's notice, because again, everything is here and it's categorized in a way that makes sense for me. So what you've got to do,
and Charles, that's one of the great things we love about working with you, is that when we need something, Charles said, wait a minute, I remember that from 2 years ago, let me grab it. It's a beautiful thing. It always happens. Charles says, hang on, let me go ahead and grab it real quick. Give me a second. Next thing you know, he's spitting a link or a message in the window from something from a few years ago. It's quite beautiful.
Yep. And so really that's really the simplicity of what I'm doing. I try to keep everything as simple as I can, and I keep things in this one website that I can visit. And again, just so it'll streamline what I have to look at, because like you, I might be in Webinar Fusion Pro in a minute. I might be in Genius Marketing Pro. And so I don't want to have to maximize the number of websites I got to look at. I don't want to maximize the number of tabs I got to be in. So everything that's communications is in this site. That's really what I do, Dwayne.
Wow. Good stuff. You guys, one thing I want you to do, I know a lot of guys love bells and whistles. We're sitting here walking you through things you can do without spending a dime. And I know it's fun when people are going to promote a product, but this is not about promoting a product to you. This is stuff you have. 30 days is a lifetime to the guy or the girl who's unfortunately didn't live past January. 30 days is a lifetime for someone who's a lot younger than you that unfortunately didn't make it to 2010. you have to value the time you've been given and literally find ways to get more out of it, because it's not going to slow down. The more successful you are, the worse it's going to get. The older you get, the more junk that's going to be on your plate, the more relationships, the more work, the more communication. So it's not going to get any easier. It's going to get worse. Every day of your life, things will get worse. The only thing you can do to make it better is find creative ways to use the things that are around you. And a lot is around you without ever spending a dime. So that being said, I'm going to go out to my desktop. And by the way, you guys saw what Charles showed you. You can use Outlook. By the way, I know for a fact that Google, Yahoo, I don't know if AOL does it, but I know it does something similar to Outlook. They allow you to channel all of your emails into one place, so you don't miss anything. Then you can create folders and subfolders. We always have folders for the Genius Team, folders from JV Zoo, folders for whoever. You can put it all there. So I think, in fact, that you guys can see at least that you can get more out of it. And the cool thing about this is you can see more success in 1 year than you did all the other years of your life. So no matter what your age is, the sky's the limit. It's not a secret that Michelangelo was in his 70s when he finished the Sistine Chapel. It's no secret that Colonel Sanders was well over 65 when he finally became successful at selling chicken. I can give you a story after this. There's a ton out there. So age is a beautiful thing. And I know you're having fun there, Gareth, my friend, because I'm older too. Can't get away from it, man. Kids were messing with me the other day, said, dude, your eyelash is even white. How old are you? In all seriousness, that if you could just learn to leverage. Charles, you know what's crazy? My first successful year in internet marketing, I made more than 10 years of work that I've done in other jobs. 10 years, the previous 10 years. In 1 year, the first year. These guys don't know. As soon as they get their stuff together and become orderly, a little bit orderly with their time, and not throw it away and not mismanage it, they'll see that a lot of the success isn't necessarily in bells and whistles and looking good and all that stuff and being in front of everyone's face and Facebook pretending to be successful. Man, a lot of the stuff that they're looking for, it's right there in your fingertips, and a lot of it God gave you too. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go out and share my screen there, sir, with your permission. Colas. Oh boy, I got these sticky notes up there. Let me get rid of them because they're giving me a headache. Woo, Lord, it's giving me a headache. Quit Firefox. I don't think so. That would shut all you guys down. Okay, now. Oh, by the way, what you were looking at there before I close it, this is my my to-do list. Every day I give myself a to-do list, just so you guys know. These are the things that have been completed. Wire money to Colombia. Write the email invitations for, test my new system that we're launching on the 18th. Create invitations for, okay, all this. The video ad, write my video ad for a marketing campaign we're doing. Create a training series for my direct selling company. Wire the money bank, okay, right, I did that one. Do new member orientations, yeah, all this stuff. This is stuff I had to do, these are checkoffs. That's a system called Reminders. And the reason, Reminders is something that just comes with your computer, right? In Macintosh environment, it's called Reminders. It's probably called something else like to-dos or tasks inside of a PC. Whatever it is, when I do it, when I put it in there and put a time on it, it automatically rings to my phone or my iPad. Whatever I have on me, it's going to alarm me. But that's not what I'm going to show you. I'm going to go out to something better. This is a calendar. I live by this. I don't want to be, since in fact, let me go to you again, darn it. I hate to do this, Charles, but I need to look everyone in the eye when I say this. Whenever you guys are able to think about being a good boss, you want to become a great manager of your projects and your tasks and of a team of people. You become a great manager of yourself. That's when you sleep, eat, work, not just being busy, because that's not good management if all you do is busy, right? It's getting more done. And the best way to do it is manage your time and collapse it. So for me, without reminders, a reminder is the same thing as a manager coming in and say, Dwayne, you're falling behind your work. I want you to step it up a bit. All right. Don't answer any more phone calls this afternoon. It's like having my boss say that. When I have a reminder pop up and say, hey, you didn't write the ad yet. Whenever a reminder pops up and says, hey, you were supposed to call Charles and get with him about this. When those reminders pop up, that's the same as my boss telling me, Golden, I'm going to put you on probation if you don't straighten your junk up. That's what it's like. So one of the best ways to manage your income is to manage you. And for me, and for Charles and Dwayne Jr., we use systems to do that. Which reminds me, I never did give Junior his link in case he gets back early. Charles, don't tell him I forgot about him. What kind of dad am I, right? Okay, so let's go out. Now that I brought that up about the reminders, you become a great boss when you can put reminders all around you. Now, daily reminders, I put in a program called Reminders. But reminders of things in the future, oh, shoot. You know what I use? This thing called calendars. And you guys already have this on your computers. Whatever type you have it in your mobile devices. So we're not talking about something you have to go out and buy. So don't start crying to me and getting mad at me and cursing me out. Because Charles, there's not much I despise. I don't like rude people. I don't like to deal with rude people. And I don't like to deal with bullies. So if something doesn't go your way and the first thing you do is fly off the handle and want to curse at me, it's the one thing will cause me to lose my cool with you or to see you mistreating someone else with it. So there you go. And call that a warning, Charles, in case you get out of hand. All right. So I got this thing called Calendar here. Where's my product at? Okay. I got this thing called, oh, here it goes. Calendar. And in calendars, whoa, it looks pretty heavy, right? There are things I need to do, right? Today's February 1st. Of course, my different things that are due on specific dates. Pay this, go to meet my friend up at King's Furniture for lunch. Lincoln's birthday. Whoa. HOA pressure wash. I got a note in our property in Palm Bay saying that the sidewalk or something in front of the house will need to be power washed. So I need to make sure I have someone there to do that day. I could go down the line, FPL, different notes that I leave to myself that is important for this. Now, there's another place I do that out, Charles. I use Calendar, but I use something else. And this one is one where you and I have done that before. I don't know if you did or not. I'm pretty sure you did. This thing called Wunderlist. Wunderlist is a place where we can have some fun. Now, this stuff, oops, whoa. I don't want to update it right now. So some of the stuff you saw, it's in my other program. And if I went to some of this stuff, well, I guess they're already, the lists are gone, they're archived. So there you go. Where are they at? Let's see my inbox. Okay, they're not gonna let me see my things. Let me complete. Let's look at these. So here's what it looks like as you're completed. I can assign stuff to different people. I'll assign stuff to Jessica, Lucas, Patty, Lena. These are different things I assign to people. Elvia. This one is, let's see who else. That's that one. So let me look at this one. 217 to-dos, right? This is, I submit stuff to my project manager. Please review this thing. There are a ton of things in here. Once I put it in a task, because I don't have to manage just myself, I've got people who work for one of our companies, any one of our companies, and I have to be direct with all the people that have primary positions. So what do? I write task. Bingo. Then, of course, here's this just to myself. These are just to me to me, right? This is called Wunderlist. There's more. There is, yes. But is there more? Yes, there's more. Sorry, Charles. You have to forgive me. So that's another product. Now, why do I use those? I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to get back to the screen and let you guys know there's a lot around you. Now, Wunderlist is a free app. If you go to it, if you have a PC or a Mac, you go out to Wunderlist with a capital U.com and you'll find. Uh-oh, I forgot to put your birthday on, sis. Sorry, love. Anyway, take a note. Charles, you see what she said? So what you can do is you can find a way. Instead of, I'm overwhelmed. There's so many things to do. I can't remember, so I'm not going to send out an email today. Oh my gosh, there's so many things to do, so I'm not going to communicate with my list. I'm not going to set up my autoresponder. I'm not going to set up my page because there's so many things. Stop doing that. Organize yourself. And because I don't have a boss, right? Other than my wife could get on my case for doing something wrong or messing up or forgetting something, I don't have a boss. And because of it, I have to be true to me. I perform better when someone gives me specific boundaries not to cross. So do you. What do you do about it? Take some of the tools that already exist in the things you have and let it remind you, put you back on pace, put you back on target, put you back in motion. So the next 30 days goes by, someone may be falling and missing, but it won't be you. Charles, by the way, before I get to you, Charles, if that was helpful for you guys, Charles just showed you exactly how we use Outlook. I've already showed you notes and just showed you Wunderlist and calendar and even task reminders. You could do this stuff. Type in number 4. If that is something you're going to at least attempt to apply, any of the stuff that we've covered, you're going to attempt to apply it. Charles, I'm going to come to you now with one more of the free tools. Then we're going to show them how to use the stuff they already have from us that exists inside of our systems.
Right. Well, there's I'm gonna actually show you, if you don't have a Windows PC, or if you have a Windows PC, there is an app that does reminders called Task Scheduler. So I know Dwayne showed you the Windows side of that, and you're actually looking at Task Scheduler. You can just find that by going here inside of your Windows program and typing in Task Scheduler, right? And
Hey, dude, I never knew that.
Right. You can do all those things in Windows and schedule tasks for yourself.
Okay.
So now, and that's free, right? That comes with Windows. Now,
Okay.
in terms of managing, the time between, because I've been working from home for a long time, but I've actually worked at home with my wife and with my children probably for over 15 years. And we did that at a boarding school. And so one of the things I can't show you right now is my whiteboard. And so every night before I go to bed, and again, this is really low tech.
I'm sorry, Charles. Could you repeat that? Did you say you can't show us your white boy?
My whiteboard.
Board. Okay, sorry. You confused the
Right.
fire of me, man.
Yeah. And you can do this with a pad of paper,
Okay.
and really a pencil and a pad of paper, because all you're really doing, and I know you've talked about this before, is really the night before, you really do have to write down those things that are essential to get done, because you're gonna have interruptions tomorrow regardless. You're gonna have things. Yep, you're gonna have things regardless that you forgot about, and they're gonna be people that are gonna be demanding of your time. However, those things that are on your whiteboard, on your paper, that have to be done, you have to put those down there, and those have to be your primary focus for the day. And if you live with other people, they have to know that those are your primary focus, because you have to communicate with the people that you live with, the people that are supporting you, that, hey, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with these things. I have to finish those things. And yes, you might have to go and pick up like an aging parent. You might have to pick up a daughter, just as long as everybody else has to understand, hey, you know what? These 5 things are things I have to get done today. And that's what that really whiteboard is for. It's for me, but it's also for the people that I live with to know that, hey, I'm really working on these things. These are essential. And I'm also going to be spending the time with you, right, the people in my house, to do the things that we need to do. If you can just help me manage my time also for these things that I'm doing. And that whiteboard for me is as simple as Dwayne, I'm all about simplicity.
Absolutely.
And so I try to make sure that everything is right in front of me and that everybody knows what the deal is. And my family we've all been living and working together for long enough that we sort of know how to help each other get those things done. So at the end of the day, what Dwayne was saying, you have to finish things, right? So it's not even about having the best tools. It's not even about having necessarily all of it's at some point you have to finish one thing and finish the next thing. And that was the hardest transition for me to make coming from the workplace. And even when I was working, doing double time, is I knew how to finish things in the workplace, but in my internet marketing business, some of the things were kind of like a hobby. And if I don't finish it, but that has to, when you start to see things really start to go in your business, that'll be the point at when you really start finishing things. And you have to take it seriously, and you have to let everybody else know you're taking it seriously also.
Man, let me tell you, well said, bro. The thing that really got to me that you said is that, by the way, Gareth, all you have to do is just search the word task. and just do a search in your entire computer. It'll bring up everything that has the word in it. One thing that has my attention, Charles, is this thing of finishing stuff. And, to do this, to use the stuff we use and not plan in advance, it's in vain. If in fact you put it in a reminder 5 minutes before you need to be reminded, you've done nothing. But the minute get your stuff in order. It's so important. If it's important tomorrow to get an email out, right, in the morning, then remind yourself the night before, and as soon as you wake up, make sure your alarm goes off. How many of you guys are using iPhones out there, using Apple products, an iPad or an iPhone? How many of you are doing that? Type in the number 0, if you're using that. And I'm asking this for a reason, because, or I should say, yeah, Apple or an Android. It doesn't matter which one you're new. Any of the newest Android or Apple products, phones, they actually. Oh, that is hilarious, Charles. Right? I'm going to go ahead and grab my phone. So hang on a second. Don't get caught up in this. I want to demonstrate something for you guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to see something you have the ability to do. I know people are lazy. I can't find a pen and paper. I can't remember the blah, blah, blah. My computer's not booted up. Doesn't matter. Let me show you how, guys. If you have an Android or an Apple, an Android product or an Apple product, you have the ability to communicate by voice and tell it to do your reminders for you, or your calendar or anything else. Watch this. Hey Siri, set up a reminder for me to call Charles at 9 p.m. tonight.
Which one? You have 11.
I want Charles Terrence Harper.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Now it's set up in my phone, but you have that. And when I set it up right now, it's already on my computer. Do you want to see it? Let me show you guys something. It just put it here. Let me get back to I get so confused now. Hang on. Hide. There you go. Call Charles. It didn't understand his name, but you see it? Calls Charles at 9. It said Chaza. Let me go ahead and edit that. This is you have ways of getting junk done. It gets better. It doesn't just start there. I literally can say, I'll call Charles. Oops, I don't know. It's probably going to call you. Hang on. But you guys, trust me. That's why I said Google is Android. Google has the Android product. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, no matter what you have, there's no reason to let 30 days go by and you didn't produce some result for your family. This is how you can avoid spending more than you earn, spending more than you do. Some of you guys are doing less, but spending more. That doesn't make sense. I like to have everything I can, right? I do. But in order to qualify for that, I have to work my butt off. When I have a headache, when I don't feel good, when I feel great, when I'm lazy, when I don't want to do anything, none of those are excuse. I have to keep moving. That being said, because of the commitment of being a good boss to myself, for Charles to be a good boss to himself, for Dwayne Jr. to be a good boss to themselves, we're able to produce insurmountable results that we would have never believed were possible when we were children. I remember, Charles, I was 25, 26 years old, working at the hospital, and to go from $8.10 to $8.20 take about a year. An hour. And I don't complain about that because I live in a country where $8 a day is plenty, right? So I get that. But what I'm trying to tell you is just by organizing yourself and being a good boss, you can give yourself the better results than having 3 people that work for you that do nothing. So let's go ahead and get down to it. We don't want to keep you all night, but you deserve to know a little bit more. So we created some features, Charles. I know we're not gonna have time to go through it, but there's something we did. Anytime we create a product, we try to create time-saving elements that give us an opportunity, stuff we have to use that gives us a jump on our competitors so that we can get our things done faster. So I'll mention one, You can mention one. We're going to go back and forth. I don't have time to show my screen, but some of you guys are very familiar with it. We have something called a copy feature. In almost every product we have something called a copy feature.
Right.
And this copy feature, whether you're creating a webinar, you're creating a page or a course or a funnel, whatever you're doing, you can just click copy. All of the core content will be copied, so you don't have to start that process over. Me personally, I hate setting up webinars. I don't know the last time I set one up from scratch because I got to put in what I want. I got to put in the name. I got to get the images and upload them. I copy the webinar. Copy, no matter what. Whatever the last one was, I copy it. If it's Charles Dwayne and I, if you got an invite today, I didn't do anything except push the copy feature and then rename it. Didn't do anything else. Renamed it and put the copy feature. And the people that are speaking are already on it. And the name. And it gave me a new link, copy feature. We also have that with Genius Marketing Pro for the ability to create a web. If you create a nice web page that works for you, use the copy feature. You guys, a lot of you guys have noticed this. Whenever I use GMP to invite you to any webinar, they all look alike. Part of it's because I don't have time to go out and do things from scratch. I use the copy feature. All I do is write out the name differently once it copies it for me, and then change the autoresponder ID. Right? The words, but I don't have to build it from scratch. I'm not going to build a page from scratch every time. We have the copy feature for funnels. So you can literally copy a funnel that already converts and does well, and then replug something else into that same source setup. Finally, we have the copy feature because we believe in this stuff. We believe in you taking all the free tools, but if you have one of our products, we believe in that too. Now, what that means is we actually have a copy feature where you can copy a course. You got a great course that works for you and it sells well and it does blah, blah, blah. You can take that identical course, you can rename it and have the same format already set up. All you have to do is exchange the PowerPoints or some of the videos if you like. I can go down the pike. The bottom line is this. Tonight, we began with the idea that everybody has challenges. We do too, right? We lose people in our lives that are important to us. We have people that we love who are going through some tough times. We have our own way of going through tough times. Charles has children, so do I. We get sick, we get stomach aches, right? We have to go to funerals. So trust me, we know what you're going through. We get that. Our job tonight was to give you a glimpse of what's possible if you can channel your focus. Channel it to just work with what you can work with. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. If you would have gotten a few things listed the night before that are necessary and start that, do this for yourself. Don't open Facebook. If you didn't do anything today from a task list, why would you open up something that's just going to steal your time and cause you to surf, cause you to just stare around? I have no problem if 1 or 2 weeks go by. A lot of you guys are going to say, yeah, I know. I don't mind. I'll go 2 weeks and won't even open Facebook. I don't care. And by the time I open it, I got people saying, why'd you ignore me? I've been trying to reach you. I have responsibilities that are greater than the luxury of social network communication. Then when I am able to, I open it and I'm freed up. You guys can practice that so you can be free. I would much rather have a successful month, have generated some results for my family and for my business, and then communicate with people, then communicate all month long, and then have zero to show for it. So think of that the next time you're watching the next 5 funny videos on Facebook and you haven't made a dime all month and it's already the 25th, and you haven't made it's already the 28th, it's already even the 15th, and you haven't made anything, and you're spending time surfing every day, chowing down with friends, chewing the cud, and looking at all the hotties, whatever it is you're doing, it's a waste of time. Sorry, Charles, I ramble, bro. Talk to him. What else is there that they could use from something that we've already, either something free or something we already created in our systems?
Well, yeah. Well, first, let me share something free. And you know, when Dwayne was talking about social networking, you know, you're not going to miss anything, and you're not going to miss a collaboration. If you need to go on social media and you need to go there to do something, I would say that, you know, the killer app for 2016 is to team up with somebody, right? If you're kind of behind the curve one of the things you want to do is, if you're going to social media, if you must be there, be looking on the lookout for a partner, not for socializing and not even for kind of following somebody around to see what's up. You need to try to make connections, kind of like if you're really trying to look to team up with somebody who can help you to JV, kind of your missing piece. And that's sort of one thing. But on the technical side, you know, inside of Genius Marketing Pro, I mean, there are really a number of things that you can do to really save time. I mean, if you're using, I'm not going to go there because I want to really explain this simply. Really just start to understand how to use the features inside of the page builders, and mainly the drag and drop, because a page is as simple as, would you say, Dwayne, a page is really as simple as a video, an opt-in form,
Wow.
and the video you create on YouTube. And again, I know that, you know, there's a lot there, and you kind of feel like, well, I want to have something that really looks good. You got to spend your time on the thing. And again, I'm preaching to Charles right now too. So spend your time on your message, right? Focus on what your message is going to say, as opposed to what your page is and all kinds of bells and whistles. All you need for your page, you need a video, which is drag and drop. You need an opt-in form, drag and drop. If you're going to spend your time on something, spend your time on making that message say what it needs to do, so your enthusiasm and your message is coming out so that people will opt in. So those two things, I would say, again, just kind of recap, the killer app for 2016, in my opinion, is teaming up. Find a partner. Find somebody with your missing piece. Find somebody who you are the missing piece for. And then the second thing, all the pages, all the sales pages, opt-in pages, is a video communicating your response, either a button or an opt-in form.
Charles, you're right on the money there, man. Teaming up, many people would think teaming up will actually double your results. The opposite happens. Teaming up gives and provides what I call synergy that allows you to do a lot more than double. You actually can get exponential results from two or more. But unfortunately, if you can't manage yourself, the last thing you want to do is give that unmanaged person to someone and call it a partner, because you're cheating the person you're joining up with. So get your crap together so you are worthy of partnership. I'm like Charles. I worked with my family for a number of years, long before I ever brought anyone else on. But we practice with our family. It's a good place for you guys to practice. Team up with your spouse instead of leaving him or her on the outside.
Yeah.
Team up with them. Put your skills together. Team up with your teenage child. That's what Charles and I have done over the years.
Yep.
What's crazy about it is by the time you want to start managing something bigger, you already have lots of practice and you've done it with other people. But if you take your undisciplined self who doesn't even perform for you, it's not fair to you take that person to a partnership and pretending to perform for somebody else. It's not going to happen. So if you got that, type it in number 3 so I know you got that. I know a lot of people here love the idea of partnership. I'm going to tell you something. The fastest way to create 7 figures, $1 million a year, or let's say even 7 figures, 8 figures, is by creating it through synergy. Partnerships. Did you hear what I said? But you have to be worthy of it. You have to become your own partner better. First, become your partner first. Make sure that you're worthy yourself. This has nothing to do with looks, nothing to do with anything else. This has something to do with you stepping up to the plate. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you think I'm joking, call Charles tomorrow and ask him if you can partner with him. Don't even bother calling me and asking me, because I'm not as nice when it comes to, it's weird, Charles. I'm such a nice, people think I'm a punk and a pushover. But boy, when it gets down to this stuff, I'm very curt and short. So I'm telling you, when the right partner comes along, everyone would say yes to them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? Because you just get things done. That's why we're showing you this. I could pick up my phone and call anyone. I could add more partners than anything I'm doing. All right? Charles could add more partners, but we're not going to do that. You know why? Because we love what we have. We actually can have a life because we have the right partners.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have family time. No lie. You know I've been home a lot lately, right? Today the heat got up to 81, but I was so busy handling all of my tasks, I didn't get to get in the water. But when I'm done, I'm actually going to go swimming. I'm going to walk out through my door over here in my office here and go right out to the pool. You probably think I'm lying. No, I'm very serious. I can have a life because when you're playing, when you're partying, when you're at happy hour, when you're having a picnic, I'm working. I don't have to feel guilty or regret about anything that I'm able to do because I work for it. See, I'm not one of these guys. Charles isn't either. We're not going to lie to you and tell you all you have to do is make it one day and you never have anything else to do. That's a lie.
Right.
These guys, hey Charles, these guys that try to sell everyone that there's nothing to do, that you never have to work again. Here's the truth. The video you're watching where they tell you that, it took hours. It may have taken 30 or 40 takes.
Mm-hmm.
There may be 62 versions of that video, but you get to see the last one. You think, man, that's the life. Look at what they're driving. Oh my gosh. We're just being upfront and honest with you, right? Everyone talks a good one.
Yeah.
But we like to put the jelly on the lower shelf so everybody can get some. And the truth is, I don't feel apologetic about anything that I'm able to do at all. And I know you don't either. There's no reason to. We have nothing to hide. We're telling you from the truth. We check this out. There's not a day that goes by that man you're looking at, Charles Harper, and Dwayne Golden Jr., and I, that we don't talk together. And what's crazy about it is, it's not just that. We have plenty of people that work for us. So then we have to get to our project managers, programmers, and support team. Because we communicate, we manage ourselves. Now we can manage the group.
Yep.
This stuff is it's not rocket science, and you guys can do it. I don't care if you're 75 years old tonight, you can do this stuff. Because the stuff you require is the stuff that God gave you. If you are 20 years old tonight, you can do it. All I can tell you is discipline yourself, and that to whom much is given, much is required. The more success you're going to see, the more work there is. The more we have a launch coming out on February 18th.
18th.
It's amazing product. You guys aren't going to have to create any products anymore. It's already going to have products in it, and they're already going to be programmed just for you to sell. It's crazy, right? It takes a lot of work. When we launch it, many people sit back and criticize these guys have it easy because they have programmers that make it for them. No. We spend sometimes months, and in this case, this thing it's been evolved so much. It's been years in the making. But somebody has to work to do it to get it there. So here's the challenge. If all of you out there, my friends, tonight will take a good look at your spouse and quietly make that commitment. Look at your children. If you don't have it, if it's just you, look in the mirror. Make the commitment that you're going to begin to work smart. And until you get it mastered, you're going to jump off of the social networks. You're going to turn NBC, HBO, CBS, you're going to turn it off. You're not even going to go to the AMC or Regal theaters. That you're going to dive in and you're going to demand success in this short month. The month is short and one day is already gone. You can't afford to be playing around. You can't afford to sit up on your computer and play the games, Call of Duty. You can't afford to do any of that stuff. You need to get it right because the year is going to be over again, and the only thing different will be your age and your address in some cases. Now, I'm done with all that noise. I wanted to say that watch what we're doing, open the email messages, look around and see what we're doing. We want you to model it. So some of you guys, when we email you think we're just emailing you. There's more to it. If we invite you to a webinar, the first thing you think about is, wait a minute, did I email anybody to invite someone to a webinar today? Yeah, that's right. If we ever launch a product and we use a webinar, you know how easy it would be for you to ask us, hey, could you give me the share code to your webinar? It seems that it converted very well. If it made you guys a few $100,000, it should at least make me 5 or 10. Can you give me the share code for the webinar that you guys did? Can I use it to sell? Because we don't have nothing to hide. We'll say, yes, use it. It may be that you see that we're marketing a certain product. You're like, wait a minute, I'm promoting for that one too. If you guys did a webinar for that, would you please pass along the share code? I love your email message that you wrote for the product, and I can tell because it made me want to buy it that it's working. Would I be over presumptuous to ask you if I could use the same email message and tweak it? Open our messages. respond to what we send you because we want you to follow the model, use what you can to make it better for you and your family, to ensure that 2016 is different, that 2016 will bring you better results, greater love for you and your families. I hope that's helpful. If it is, God bless you guys. Charles, I don't know if you have anything else, man. We could go on and on and on, but the bottom line is it's possible. And yes, every guru in the world wants you to think it's not possible, so they keep putting the carrot out there. Carrot, keep it. Oh, as soon as you get close, pull it, pull it. But you know what's cool? We're here to say you can do it. We're believers. And you don't have to be a believer in God or any of that stuff, but we are. And we believe in the promises that he's made. We believe in the way the universe was created so that so we can put our hands on whatever we deem possible. We believe that with life, health, and strength, if the legs don't work, if only one of the arms works good, if there's still cancer in the body, we believe that whatever life we have, something can be done that's useful. So we just want to encourage you guys with simple tips. With simple tips that no matter what someone tells you out there, you can do it. You know, there was a time they told Charles and I that. We didn't always do internet marketing. The way Junior didn't always do internet marketing. When we got started, it looked like it was light years away. Huh, Charles? Think about it. We started, it's like, man, we want to do it. I remember philosophizing at your house, man. One day it'll be possible. I never dreamed. I'm telling you guys this before God Almighty. I never dreamed in my lifetime in 1 year to see 7 and 8 figures. Ever. I just never seen possible. I remember thinking one day if I could make $50,000 a year, boy, I'm gonna be all right for my babies, right? That's what I was thinking. I had no idea. But through the messages of hope, through the promises of God, guess what? All things are definitely possible regardless of my color, regardless of my bad health, regardless of my balding head. It doesn't matter. What does matter is what do I do with what I do have? And that's your message tonight. Charles, I'm done crying and whining and whimpering and pandering. What you got, bro, as we say goodnight to these guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, you have heard it. And really, I mean, I see Hillary says she wants success. Jimmy says you can do it. What we've been talking about tonight is not time management for the sake of time management. It's finishing stuff. And so if you can break everything down to finishing stuff, finish one thing at a time and finish the next one. And I know that really sounds simple, but that's how you're really going to get something up for sale. That's how you're going to get a product. You're going to be ready for an affiliate promotion the day before, as opposed to the day of. That's how you're going to have a capture page done. It really does have to be, finishing stuff. And so do the best you can. Whatever the tools you need, combine them. Use one of them. Use 10 of them. Whatever you have to do, whatever helps you to finish stuff, right? That is what's going to help you to get your stuff in position to get it up for sale. And when you got to learn something, if something doesn't work, and 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work, that's when you go back and you do it again and you make adjustments until it does. But again, it's still finishing stuff. So you can definitely do it when you start finishing things.
Yeah, and encourage yourself. Charles, some days you talk to me, right? And I can barely move, right? There are days I literally sense, I don't even tell you this, but you talk to me in those days, I'm out of gas. I got nothing left.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for me I'll send myself text messages. I send through iChat. I send myself messages there. I send myself Skype messages. I even send email messages. And it's no joke because it's real. We understand the pain. We understand struggle. We understand challenges. But the encouragement that I'm able to get from myself, by the time I talk to Charles or Dwayne Jr., they encourage me. I'm like, okay, let's go. All right, let's charge hell with the squirt gun and get it moving. So God bless you guys, man. Let's move on and tackle the stuff. Go out and read the blog post. We did. It's at DwayneandDwayne.com. But there you'll see a lot of what we talked about is there. Hang on, let me see. TTP Dwayne.com. We talk about this in detail there. You're welcome to go out and check it out and read. And we actually put links in there where you can grab Evernote, which is another one that we use. You can grab Outlook. right? You can grab, what's the other one called? These are free things. I know that you can get the paid version of Outlook too, or the free version. We have Wunderlist on there. We got different things on the blog post. Use it, man, because you know what? You can do it. And you tell me, show me the way the gurus told you it's not possible unless you spend $20,000. I'm going to outright tell you that the promises of God are even greater than that, and you can. You guys have a great night. God bless all of you guys. We appreciate you. And yes, we certainly are going to send the recording out to you guys. Take care.